There's a similar reluctance about taking me into the house as there would be about having a large, shaggy dog in the house. He'll come into the room with his wet paws, and then he's so shaggy he'll get in everyone's way. His bark's so loud. In short, he's a filthy animal. Very well. But the animal has a human history. And although it's a dog, a human soul. And one with finer feelings, at that, capable of feeling what people say about him, which an ordinary dog can't do.
We're undertaking this new trial with real good faith. It's a pity he isn't a little more accommodating, but there's simply no changing the fact that he's eccentric.
And I, admitting that I am a sort of dog, accept them for what they are.
Despite the difficulties at home, it was around this time that Vincent came into his own as an artist, starting with the drawings of local weavers.
Every day I paint studies of the weavers here. I think the looms with that quite complicated machinery, in the middle of which sits the little figure, will also lend themselves to pen drawings. Must make sure that I get them so that the colour and tone match with other Dutch paintings.
These Dutch painters he was so impressed by were Anton Mauve and Joseph Israels, artists from the Hague School, celebrated for their rural scenes and peasant subjects. Their palette was grey and brown, matching the weather conditions of the Netherlands, very different from the revolutionary paintings being produced in Paris at that time by the Impressionists with their bright and colourful paintings, which Theo had written to Vincent about.
When I hear you talk about a lot of new names, it's not always possible for me to understand when I've seen absolutely nothing by them. And from what you say about Impressionism, it's not entirely clear to me what one's supposed to understand by it. And for my part, I still find so tremendously much in Israel's, for instance, that I'm not particularly curious or eager for something different or newer.
Despite this, Vincent was becoming increasingly interested in colour, fascinated by what he saw emerging on the looms.
When the weavers weave those fabrics, they try, as you know, to get the very brightest colours in balance against one another in the multicoloured tartans, so that rather than the fabric clashing, the overall effect is harmonious from a distance. You have to go straight to Eugène Delacroix to find such an orchestration of colours. I'm talking about the blue-green sketch with red and purple and touches of lemon yellow. It speaks a symbolic language through colour itself.
So now Vincent starts to introduce shards of colour into his work. In landscapes, and then in a series of portraits of local peasants.
I have a few of the heads I promised you. They are studies in the true meaning of the word. I've already painted at least 30 or so. At the same time, I'm working on those peasants around a dish of potatoes again. I hope that the painting of those potato eaters will progress a bit.